Hi, welcome back to the demo version, demo 2.2. In this video, we are going to model the waste disposal of the shade material. So if you look at the slide here, there are two waste treatment processes. Let me enlarge it so that we can have a look. There are two waste treatment processes. One is open burning. So in open burning, wood is, because this sheet is made from wood, so it can burn. Even though in Malaysia, it is not advisable, encouraged to do open burning, but we cannot avoid because wood can be burned for some reason. So wood is burned in open fire at people's home. So let's say I got this data maybe from past research papers. So to burn 1 kg of wood, so these are the emissions to the environment, emitted to environment. So in this case, we are assuming there is no air treatment facilities available. So all pollutant compound are released to the environment when 1 kg of wood waste is burned. Okay, of course there are still a lot, but maybe the rest are very insignificant. So we are only included some component which are very significant in terms of concentration. The second waste treatment suggested for this wooden shade is landfill. So in this treatment, wood is dumped in an inert landfill. So an inert landfill can be considered an engineered landfill. So we assume that this landfill has a collection system for methane, and that 31% of the emitted methane is used as fuel. Okay, so in this data, functional unit of 1 kg of wood is disposed. So we found out that for every 1 kg of wood disposed, then 0.007 kg of methane, which is CH4, is collected and replace a natural gas, okay, which is in low pressure, 1 to 5 bar only. And then the second thing is, because landfill is normally located very far away from residence area, so a transportation is actually needed because it contribute very significantly to the environmental impact. So transport between a municipal collection point and landfill, so about 20 kilometers away. And then the third one, even though methane is collected, but not all is collected, there are still some leaking to the environment. So we assume that 1 kg of wood waste will create 0.002 kg of methane to the environment and 0.5 kg of CO2 to the environment. So these are, we call it the model that we are going to create on our processes. Of course, you may say, is that covering every activities on landfill? Not at all. Examples like the operation of a bulldozer, daily cover of soil. I don't think this is all included. But for simplicity, we include this in our scope. Hence, during your report writing, so we have to tell what is the limitation, what is not included in landfill. As examples, the operational cost, the operational activity of a bulldozer, excavator, this and that is not included. Yeah. All right. So now, without further ado, we are going to model these two activities. Then after we model these two activities, we are going to construct waste scenario. So a waste scenario of 100% landfill, a waste scenario of 100% open fire, and then a waste scenario of 40% open landfill, 40% open fire and 60% landfill. All right, so in this video, we are going to cover demo 2.2 and demo 2.3. All right, let's start. Okay, to do this waste disposal, so you say similarly, you open the same project, the example with wood example, then you have already created in the folder of material where you have your bark, your felt tree, your plank, your sawdust, everything is in already. So now we are going to create the yellow color one, which is the disposal. So before this, we are going to create each processes of waste treatment. So because we name it as waste treatment, so we locate it under the folder of waste treatment. If you click on it, so there are a few subgroups like incinerator, landfill, and then others. Okay, so I have already created the open fire field by material. I have already created these two things. So to save time, so I will just open up this. Okay, so we are going to do an open fire first. For the open fire, because there is no subcategory of open fire, but instead of creating a new category or new folder, I just rather lump it or locate it under the category of incineration. The reason being is because both also using combustion, so I put it under the incineration. So there are municipal incineration. There are many other municipal incineration of plastics, paper. You can have it in your libraries. Okay. So for our case, I created in the incineration where I put it, name it with the open fire field by material from the shed. So how do I insert the information? So of course, for you who have not created, you just click on new. So for me, who I have already created, I just need to open it and show you what I inputted in, what I have inserted inside. Okay, so I'm going to click on it. So basically I'm extracting information from here. Okay, so waste specification. So similarly for waste treatment, there are three sections. One is product, input, and output. So here I only insert the product of it. If you notice that for waste treatment, it never say it is a product or output. He specified that waste specification. So in this case, you just need to double click and type open fire field by material from shed. Okay, this is a free typing space, means you can type anything you want. You can just type open burning, you can type wood material for burn, whatever it is. Okay, so when you type here waste type, so you double click on it, then you will choose wood. All right, so you choose wood. Okay, so when you choose other thing, there are a lot of specific material pop out, okay, on the right hand side. So because now we are wood, so we just choose wood. Why we need to do so? Because when we choose wood, then the system will easily identify this wood. It just help you to categorize it only. So I will select waste type. If I click select, then it will require me to select whatever is from here because it's too specific already. So I think to be general, I just click on wood and I click on waste type. So I click on waste type, it will come out as a wood. Okay, if let's say I double click it back, I click select. So click select means I'm select pine wood timber. So I select, it will come out as pine wood timber. So I do not want it to be so specific, so I just keep it general. So to keep it general, I just choose wood. Okay, so let's say we put a reference unit as 1 kg. So I only know the output. So the input, I just leave it empty because there is no input in it. I do not include like the fire starter things, everything in it is too detailed already. So I just compile the output. So in output, like CO2, I just put in CO2, carbon monoxide, and then NMVOC, PAH, particulate metals, and NO2. So I insert the required concentration as referring to 1 kg of wood combustion. 1.2 kg, 50 gram to 27.5 gram. Let's say if you are getting this information from a published journal paper, and they are referring to 1 ton of wood combustion, then you have to scale it down to your reference unit. In this case, our reference unit is 1 kg, so everything have to be scaled down according to 1 kg. All right. So other than that, I just leave everything blank. Then I will just close it, and they will ask me whether you want to save. So yes, I save it, and here it is. Once I save, this process is already created. So now I already created the first process, which is open burning. Now I'm going to create the second process, which is the landfill. Of course, I already done it, so I'm going to show you what I have created. So I create and I locate it under the folder of landfill. So in this landfill, for you, you can click on new because there's empty there. All right. If you open it up, there are a lot of other landfill operations, like landfill for plastic waste, for municipal solid waste, for ferro, for biodegradable waste. Okay. So for us, I do not want to rely on secondary data since I got the primary data. So I want to create my own process. Hence, I will just need to click on new. Then for me, because I already created, so I'm going to show you what I have created, yeah. So I double click on it. So let's say waste specification. It is an inert landfill of wooden shade. So I just type on it, inert landfill of wooden shade. And then the waste type, I keep it as wood. And this one, I keep it as 1 kg. Okay, because the data that I got is functional unit of 1 kg of wood disposed. And then you may ask me, Guan, is it necessary to keep it as always 1 kg? Can I put 1 ton? Okay, if you put 1 ton here, all your information, your value that you are going to put in input and output have to correspond to 1 ton. Okay, since my data that I got is corresponding to 1 kg, to make my life easy, so I just keep it as 1 kg. It is not problem because all these are standalone input output table. So when you group them together and when you link it together in the life cycle, the system will detect it and change accordingly when you are doing analysis. Okay, it will change to your eventually your functional unit that you will assign later on when you are doing we call it analysis. So now I would like to highlight to you avoided product. Avoided product is actually, in another word, is called recycle. Means we replace something which is being developed elsewhere, and then once we avoid that product, we actually providing a benefit to the environment. So the logic thinking is like this: input and output. We know that the more that you fill in, the more input that the more impact they are creating. Similarly, go to output. The more output compound that you are putting in, you are filling in into this table, you will recognize that there will be more impact that will be calculated. In this case, the only benefit that you are expecting is when you are filling up this avoided product. So when you are filling up this avoided product, means you are actually compounding a benefit to the environment because you are avoiding the production of this material elsewhere. Okay, in this case, like just now we see 1 kg of wood deposed, it will create or replace 0.007 kg of natural gas. So in this case, I will double click on it. Okay, so I'm going to choose gas. So from the energy part, so I'll just choose gas. Wait, let me see where I can get. Okay, for material, sorry, it's a material fuel. So fuel, there are natural gas. So I'm going to choose natural gas extracted process. So it's actually a process one. So I just click on it and then I just put 0.07 kg. Okay, the first one I just delete it. All right, so you can find any natural gas which you deem is very appropriate to you. So I think I will use this one, natural gas, which is processed for olefins production at plants 0.007 kg. Okay, so I've already created the avoided product. The second one is the transportation. So in transportation, because it requires you to transport the waste, which is to the landfill, which is 20 kilometers away. So in here, let's say I redo it again, I delete the line. So I'm going to find a transport material or transportation, which I think is most appropriate. So I go to transport and a route transport. So I'm going to see whether is there any transportation mode that is very okay. You see there is a refuse truck. So for sure when you are sending something to landfill, you won't get a freight truck you will get a refuse truck. So I think refuse truck is more appropriate for me now. So there's no other option anymore. So I will choose a refuse truck. Okay, diesel power. Okay, so because this is, I think, is from the databases from US. So you see all their location are very much related to regionals at United States. So because there is no other option for me at the moment, so I'll just choose transport refuse truck, diesel powered, TKM RNA. Okay, so I just select, and then now TKM, what is the number that I'm going to insert, because he said 20 kilometer away. So now my reference unit in this page is 1 kg. So 1 kg is actually equal to 0.001 ton, right? So 1 kg is equivalent to 0.001 ton times 20 kilometer times 20. So in this case, so I will get 0.001 times 20, which is 0.02. Okay. If you notice that this is like Excel, we actually can make like something like this. Okay. So when you put an equal sign, 0.01 times 20, okay, then they will ask you how much is that. Okay, so you can basically leave it like this, all right? Or you can calculate and put it in. You can leave it like this, 0.01 times 20. Or in other words, you can put 0.02 TKM. Okay, so it also works like how we use Excel for calculation. We can put an equal sign and we put the equation inside there. Okay, so after I have included the transportation, so I have two more to model. One is the remaining methane leakage to the environment and CO2 leaking to the environment. So because this leaking to the environment, so it is an output. So I will be putting them in the output section. So emission to air, I'll put methane, okay, 0.02 kg, and then carbon dioxide, 0.5 kg. Okay, so once I'm done, so that is all I need to do. So basically I have model. Let us review this input output table again for this inert landfill of wooden shed. So I have a waste specification. The treatment is inert landfill, and then 1 kg. So to landfill 1 kg wood shed in a landfill, we actually produce methane, which can replace a natural gas of 0.007 kg. So the activity of landfilling, we will require a transportation truck of a value of 0.02 TKM, okay, when we are throwing 1 kg of wood into the landfill. Of course, the more reference unit, this one, the transportation amount will increase. If you're considering 1 ton, so this will be times 1,000, all right? Then we also consider the emission to air, which is methane and carbon dioxide. Okay, once we are done, and then we just click on close, and then it will pop out a reminder message to save. Yes. So now we have these two, all right, these two waste treatment being constructed. Okay, so we are done with demo 2.2. Now we are going to construct a waste scenario. In demo 2.3, if you look at this, there are 3 scenarios. One is 100% landfill, another one is 100% open fire, and another one is a mixture of open fire and landfill. All right, so we are going to do it now. Okay, so to construct a waste scenario, we will be using the folder of waste scenario. If you open it up, there are a few subfolder: household, incineration, landfill, municipal, others, and recycling. At this moment, all these we call it folders are empty, except this others dummy waste scenario. I think it's not applicable to you. So now we are going to create the waste scenario here. So now we are going to create the first one, 100% landfill. Okay, so 100% landfill, I'm going to put it under the landfill. So I'm going to create one. So if you look at the template, it will be a little bit different from what you have in the processes and waste treatment. So now let's fill it in together. So waste specification, we will just put it there. Scenario 1, I put a 1 there. 100% landfill of wood, uh, wooden shade. Okay. All right. So here I might as well put it as 1 kg, 1 ton. Actually, it's up to you. You like it. So here I'm referring to the input. Okay. There is no much more materials or electricity needed because this is just scenario. So there's no other activity. We just put it as scenario. So in this case, the input of technosphere, I will just keep them empty. So now we are referring to which waste type or which material. Okay, so because we are only referring to wooden shade, so now I have to find from my waste treatment folder. All right, so because this is an incinerator, this is what I recreated, inert landfill of wooden shade. Just put it there. So now I'm going to put 100%. Okay, so this is 100% of inert wood, we call it landfill of wooden shade. Okay, so the second, you think waste stream remaining after separation. So normally we don't consider any other separation because when it is disposed, everything is disposed. There's no more separation in it. So in this case, we just finish and then we just put like that. So when we put close, it asks us, it will ask you, this is just a friendly reminder, you did not define any waste process for the remaining waste. Do you want to save? Yes, so I just save it because I do not have any other things. So I've created the scenario of 100% landfill of wooden shade. Now I'm going to create another scenario which is 100% of open fire. So for open fire, I will put it under incineration. So I click on the folder of incineration, I put a new, then I'll put scenario 2, I put the 2 there. So 100% open fire filled by wooden shade. Okay, so I just put a reference, 1 kg. You can put 1 kg, you can put 1 ton, you can put 1 gram, whatever it is. As long as you put it, and you must put it. Because when you put it, then the system will actually capture it and calculate accordingly. So in this case, there is no input from in terms of material and fuel because we are just constructing scenario. So I will have to link this to my waste stream. All right, so my waste stream is just now the open fire. I put it under incineration, open fire filled by material from shade. This is what I have created just now. Okay, you have created just now as well. So you just select it and put 100%. Okay, and nothing else. We just close it, and then he will ask you a reminder again. You did not define any waste process for the remaining waste. Like I said, when you burn, everything is burned, so there's no remaining waste. So you can just, you want to save? Yes, I save, because I do not consider any other remaining waste anymore. Now I've created the first scenario, 100% landfill, second scenario, 100% open fired. Okay, so actually you are good to go, but in this exercise, we open up another scenario, which is a mixture of these two waste treatment, because in the real world, most of the time there are possibility of many waste treatment happening at the same time. Okay, so sometimes as a researcher, we have to define how many percentage is being recycled, how many percentage is being composted, and how many percentage is being landfill or incinerated. So in this case, let's say we consider the third scenario of 40% open fire and 60% landfill. So I'm going to create this scenario under others, all right, because there is no mixture here. So I'm going to create under others, and then I put a new. So now I will say this is scenario 3. This is a maybe disposal of wooden shade. Okay, co-disposal of wooden shade. So I just name it something like that. So 1 kg. So say similarly, there is no input from material and fuel, neither there is no input from electricity and heat. So I'm considering the input or the waste from open fire, and another one from landfill, inert landfill. So be careful, you are not choosing the we call it processes from waste scenario. You are choosing from the waste treatment. Okay, so you put a select. Now they are giving you percentage. So let's say open fire, I'm putting it 40%, and then for the other one I put 60%. Okay, so that's all. There's nothing much. When I close it, again, a friendly reminder, you did not define the waste process for the remaining waste? You want to save? Yes, I will save it. So now I have already created 3 scenarios. Scenario 1, which is landfill, 100% landfill. Scenario 2, which is 100% open fire, filled by wooden shed. And scenario 3, which I save it in the folder of others, which is a co-disposal of wooden shed, which consists of 40% open fire and 60% landfill. All right, so with this, that's all for demo 2.2 and 2.3.